Welcome to another episode of Straight Like That, the podcast hosted by me, Camille. Today we got a very cool guest, man. East Hartford's very own Tyshawn Rose, man. What's going on, man? Welcome to the pod. But first, let's shout out the sponsors. Tasty Mates, a gourmet gummy sweet based in London, England. Organically made gummies that come in a few different flavors. They just recently put out a new passion fruit flavor. So be sure to check them out. Link in bio for that. And Club DS. Club DS is a streetwear brand based out of Los Angeles. The word DS means the number 10 in Spanish. And the number 10 in soccer is always the player that brings the most joy, creativity, and takes risks. Inspired by their Mexican roots and the number 10 in the beautiful game, Club DS created the mantra of Siempre con Alegría, which translates to always with joy. The message of the brand stems deep in the Los Angeles community, and the aim is to spread this message to other communities around the world. The mission is to remind people that no matter what you're going through, do it with joy. Life is full of ups and downs, but you will always be able to overcome any obstacle. A little bit of positivity, faith, and joy will go a long way. Siempre con alegría.
What's up, man? My name's Ty. Just thanks for having me. And let's talk, man. Let's chop it up.
Let's go ahead,
Chop
man.
it
Let's
up.
get straight to it, man. Why
Yeah.
football? How'd you get into it?
Football. I would say, started with my dad. Um, my dad was a soccer player, and I actually have five brothers from my dad. No sisters. So I have five siblings, and we all just kind of was drawn to soccer. Probably just seeing my dad. I'm Jamaican, so we kind of had like a thing like Sunday League. I don't know,
Hmm.
and like but with like Jamaicans, and I used to be like a little kid just roaming around, just watching, and then that's kind of where the passion for soccer began. Uh, then at some point when I was starting to like be of age, everyone was pretty much an athlete in my family. So it was either play basketball or play soccer. So my mom, she wanted me to play basketball. My dad and my brothers kind of wanted me to play soccer. Um, so I think I was interested in both sports, right? So I
Okay.
think I chose to play soccer probably because everyone else was playing soccer. And then
Okay.
once I started playing, I realized I was talented at it. So I just like, okay, now I want to be a pro. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's kind of the origins, to be honest. Yeah.
But could you hoop though too?
Yeah, no, I could hoop, man. I could hoop. Honestly, the talent is still there. It's just I don't got the reps anymore. So, you know,
I hear
I don't
you.
know if I could, but I got a good three ball. I got a good three ball. I got a good
Okay,
three
all right,
ball.
you can shoot it
Yeah.
then, huh? So you
Yeah.
were playing both sports, what, middle school, high school? What was
Nah,
kind of
no, like elementary. That's kind of where
okay,
that's kind of where like I decided to make a decision which one I would want to play more.
okay,
And I decided to play soccer. I obviously played like basketball, like just pick up with my friends here and
yeah,
there. But nothing serious, nothing like AAU or anything like that.
okay,
But then I started taking soccer a lot more serious.
okay. All
Yeah.
right, so you get to middle school and you kind of lock in on soccer. So what
Mhm.
was, the next steps? Were you playing club? Were you playing middle
Yeah.
school?
Yeah. So both of my brothers won a club in Connecticut called FSA. I don't know if you know about it, but it was that club and pretty much they both made it. They were on the A team. And I was just like, okay. I got to make it, So what was happening was there was going to be a tryout, maybe like late summer or something. It was a tryout for my age group. And I was nervous because I was like, I'll be an embarrassment to the family if
Oh no.
they both make it and they both made it and I'm not the one that made it. So I
Yeah.
was like, I was nervous, man. So literally every day after school when I was in middle school, like yeah, like sixth grade-ish. Yeah. I'll come outside with the ball, juggle, just do dribbling and all that. And fast forward to that day of the tryout, I killed it. Like I killed it. It was an easy like tryout for me, and
Yeah.
I got the 18. But like in between the time of the tryout to the results of who was going to be on the team, I was checking every day, checking like the website, the emails, because I
Yeah.
was like I had to make the 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of like the drive that kind of instilled in me during that time. Yeah.
So is it safe to say that your brothers kind of set the standard?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, both of my brothers, man, they were some talented footballers. Didn't decide to pursue the game
Mm,
into professional, but they were very talented. I learned a lot from them, particularly like just technical stuff, like the tactical side of the game.
mm,
And it definitely gave me motivation to continue to push further. Like one of my older brothers, when I was younger. Uh, we would be out in our backyard, and I would have a ball, and pretty much I had to pass a ball to him. And if the ball didn't go straight to his feet, he stayed still the whole time. If the ball didn't go straight to his feet, he let the ball roll by him, and then I had to sprint and go get it, and then do it again and again until every ball went straight to his foot. So it was just like,
wow.
there was kind of like it was like motivation, and
Yeah.
especially my older brother Malik, he definitely pushed me in that way
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So your brothers were over there training you in the backyard to
yeah,
perfection. Like they wanted no flaws.
tight, tight, man, tight. Yeah, especially my brother Malik. Yeah, he definitely was looking out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's real love. That's brotherly love right
hmm
there.
hmm
How was the club scene over there in Connecticut?
Yeah. So at that time, there wasn't much academies.
Mm,
The only academy that was close to me was Oakwood.
okay.
And then like Revolution was a little bit further. And then New York Red Bulls were even further. So we decided to go club, and pretty much it was like state cup type of stuff, and
Yeah.
then you go to nationals and stuff. That's how it was originally. Then eventually I think they moved to like NPSL or something
Hmm.
like that. At that time I was pretty much on my way out of like playing, and was gonna go to college around that point. But yeah, that was kind of the situation. It was very local at first, and then you have to beat all the teams locally, and then you can play the teams nationally. Like, I played teams like Cedar Stars. I played teams like Patriadores, that are now Academy.
Yeah.
Um, so it was a lot of teams, TSF. There's a
Hmm.
lot of teams that were club and they ended up becoming Academy, which I was able to play them when they were club. Soccers, I played soccers before. So yeah, it was I think a good scene in terms of like getting playing good teams, but in terms
Hmm.
of like let's say exposure, Academy was probably the best spot to get the most exposure.
Right, right. So I
Yeah,
mean, you kind of saying it's a little bit more difficult to get exposed to either
for sure,
professional route or college scene and everything like that. So
for
I guess
sure,
how
for
did you
sure.
navigate that going like into high school? Because I guess it was already set that you wanted to go college, you wanted to play. So how
Yeah.
did you kind of go about getting your name out there?
So I had a really FSA. Pretty much was just like training, working hard at FSA, like
Hmm.
doing really well in the tournaments, the weight trips, playing, just doing really well. And then counting on my coach as well. Um, my coach, he's a very well-known coach around, at least around Connecticut, and he just knew football really well, and he had a lot of connections, and he was really like fond of me as a player, and he definitely like invited coaches out to watch me and some of the other guys play. So in those moments, he'd be like, Tyshawn, make sure you make sure you do your thing.
Yeah.
Make sure you do your thing, right? So that's kind of how I got the opportunity to play my college, Boston College.
Okay.
Um, it was just through him and his connections, and I'll bring coaches out, but also like the tournaments as well, where I was able to get some other interest from other teams.
Okay.
But not like it wasn't through high school, like my high school team. Like I played high school. It wasn't really any exposure in that for me. It was just something to do in the fall until
Yeah.
the club was ready.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, so I was about to ask, were you allowed to do both high school and club? Like, because
yeah,
the rules are always changing these days, and I can't keep up really.
yeah. So at least during that time, it was you can do high school and club, but you
Hmm.
can't do academy and high school. So
Okay.
that's what. So if you did that, then you were breaking the rule.
Okay.
So I was doing club, so I was safe. I was
You were
free.
good. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
good off that. Yeah.
So when did Boston College become, the place for you?
Yeah, so Probably my actually I committed late, honestly, to college, like senior year
Oh wow,
of
okay.
high school. Yeah, and I had other teams interested in me, but like I wanted a particular team, the ACC, um,
Okay.
just because the ACC for soccer in America is probably the best conference for in terms of teams. They have like Duke, Wake Forest,
Hmm.
Pitt, Clemson. They have like the top teams in college. So I was like,
They're pretty
okay,
loaded.
yeah, there's the,
Yeah.
now it's Stanford and some other teams is now. So,
Out west.
um, yeah,
Hmm.
SMU, yeah. So pretty much like I wanted to be in a position where I was playing against the so-called best kids
Yeah.
in the country
Hmm.
and pretty much okay, like prove to myself, prove to everyone else that I'm good enough to play against those guys and dominate. So um pretty much my coach like he invited one of the Boston College assistant coaches out and yeah he liked me, and they said the assistant coach and the head coach both seen me play, took like 2 3 games maybe of it, and then they want to offer me.
Oh
And
wow.
then yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
then
must have impressed in them games, huh?
yeah, man, I was well my coach made sure to let me know who was watching. Because
Yeah,
like,
okay.
obviously when you tell certain kids like, oh, this coach is watching, this person is watching, they might get in their heads and
Right.
then do too much and like, not look good. But I
Right.
was like, it just kind of kicked the gear into me to just like make sure I was on, no nothing sloppy. That type of pressure didn't really like bother me. Um,
Oh wow, that's a strong
it was
mentality.
yeah, it was just like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah. So
mean?
it turned you up a little bit.
Yeah, it turned me up instead
Okay,
of like
okay.
making me. But I didn't want to do. I didn't do extra. I just did what I was good at and then what I
Right.
know what to do. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So yeah.
Wow, okay. So
Mm.
was it ever close with another school or was it just kind of Boston College only?
Yeah, I spoke. I spoke to obviously like UConn.
Hmm.
Colgate Bucknell. Some some other teams. Central. I was a lot of them were in state as well. But once it honestly like even that I was speaking to other teams, if they didn't were in the ACC. I didn't really care. I didn't really
I
care. I was like, I was like, okay, Boston is close to home. It's in the ACC. It's a really good school academically. Like if I
yeah,
get a degree from there, that's a good thing.
yeah, 100%.
Um, I was like, I don't really see any reasons to not go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty much a no-brainer for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So you get to Boston College and how is Boston College, your freshman year?
Yeah, no, it was cool. It took some time adjusting.
Hmm.
I was like the demographic is a lot different than where I'm from. The demographic is a lot different. But no, it was good. It was good. I definitely made a lot of close friends there, a lot of lifelong memories. But my first year, it was just like I realized how not good I was. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I in preseason, like I did well in preseason, but I could just tell like there were some guys on the team that were just technically and tactically just way better than me. Um and I was just like it just pushed me to kind of like go harder. So I was doing extra trainings,
Hmm.
and all that stuff, but it made me know like, okay, there's like I thought I was really good, but there's another level to it. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay, yeah,
Um
because that was gonna be
yeah.
one of my questions too, is that once you get to Boston College your freshman year, were you like, okay, cool, I'm at this level, or was it
Yeah.
kind of like, ooh, I'm like, yeah, I'm here, but there's more levels to reach while here.
Yeah, for sure. Like we had a lot of European guys, from like
Hmm.
Germany and things of that nature, like some South American guys, and they were all technically and tactically sound, right? Obviously growing up in America, how kind of the system goes a little bit, like,
Yeah,
unless you're really being cultivated and the academy is a great academy, um, there some players and those might lack technically in some ways or tactically or whatever it may be. So it was part of it was like, okay, I have to be so technically sound. So like I can do things technically really well, but it was like, okay, let me do it 10 out of 10 times without
yeah,
messing up, you know? So that's where I was like, okay, I need to be better at and like the consistency of doing things normal.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, but like in terms of like the competitive side, the athleticism. My IQ was already pretty high, so it wasn't that hard to figure out that stuff.
Hmm.
But it was just more like the technical side of it. But yeah, I had a lot of good players on my team, and some definitely like helped me and just kind of gave me tips and guidance as well.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
how did you grow your game, I guess, each year? So you
yeah.
go into one season, in the off season, like were you looking at certain aspects of your game that you wanted to level up?
So first, kind of like the first two seasons when I was at BC, I was playing more midfield,
Hmm.
playing like an 8-6. Then at points in time, they would use me at like left back. And I was kind of in the it was kind of hard for me to like be in the mindset of okay, like how do you like okay, let me train as a 6/8, but then also I should how like to train as a left back, right?
Right.
So I was kind of like trying to deal with that. It was a little difficult for me, at least in my development at that time, to be able to like be as proficient as I could at both positions.
Hmm.
Um, it was either like I would be really good at midfield, or I just could be just really good at left back at that point in time. So then I started making transition towards left back when they at least my coaches they noticed like my attacking capabilities were could be really good, and like I have like a lot of pro qualities that in that position. Um, so I started to make a little bit more transition to the left back, and what was happening was I was just training more like a left back. So I worked on my crossing because
Hmm.
like as a midfielder, I didn't have to cross much. I
Right.
never, so it was certain. I was doing a lot of game specific for the position type of things. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
And you lefty?
I'm lefty.
Okay, so you going down, you overlapping the left wing and you whipping it in, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I've also worked on and I'm pretty good at now cutting in on my right.
Okay.
Curlers, back post, things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. Well-rounded game. Okay.
yeah,
All
you got to
right.
be in today's game, man. Today's
That's a
game.
fact. So how was
Yeah.
your last 2 years when you were playing left back?
It was good. It was
Yeah.
good. I was creating a lot of chances. A lot of chances. For my teammates. Uh, it doesn't really show too much in the, let's say, the assist category.
Yeah.
We just didn't have the greatest goal scoring chance like record.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, but yeah, I was doing really well, defending really well. I was starting to kind of grow into my own, and yeah, the game was pretty easy for me at that point. Kind of my last 2 years at Boston College.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you say the game got easy, did that kind of indicate, okay, I want to go pro?
I wanted to go pro before I even went to college. So
Oh,
like
right away. We already knew.
yeah, I already knew I wanted to go pro. I knew I was good enough to do it too. I always
Yeah.
had a feeling I was good enough. So it was just like, just putting in extra work, staying focused, doing what I have to do in the classroom to make
Hmm.
sure it doesn't hold me back in soccer, things like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was just I already knew I wanted to go pro.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, and I would always ask my coach for tips, like, what do you think? What do you think like a pro would do in this situation? What do you think, like, to see what he
Hmm.
says, and he would just kind of just talking a lot about experience, just kind of growing into the game, and I was able to do that during that time. I played a lot of minutes throughout my 4 years at BC. So
Yeah. So how
yeah,
how did you go about trying to make it pro? What were the
yeah,
steps you
so
had to take?
first finding an agent,
Hmm.
um, so that was weird. That was a weird process. I never dealt with, right? So I
Yeah.
had to find an agent. So my coaches, they put me with an agent, trying to get me into some clubs. Once it looked like, okay, Tyshawn has the capabilities to be a pro, they were convinced, other people were convinced, I was convinced. So they helped me get an agent to like just kind of show me the ropes, show me things, put me on visits to other clubs.
Hmm.
To train with them, train with their second teams, train with the first teams. So I was able to experience that. That was cool. And eventually it's just kind of like during that time when at least when I was a senior, I was able to like I had like through connections, I had like lists of agents that I was talking to, and I
Okay.
just decided to just choose one, and then we started working together about about the future. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much it.
yeah. So
Yeah,
what are these conversations like? Like, is it
yeah.
trying to build a connection with them?
So they obviously like a good sign of an agent is like if they care about if they're wondering about your life besides soccer, you
Okay.
know. So, if an agent is just like, "Oh yeah, you're a great player and I just love how you do this on the field," and okay, now let's get to business, right? That's
Yeah.
not necessarily like the like a sign that agent is necessarily looking out for you or he's a great
Hmm.
agent or you want an agent that likes you as a person, that wants to know about you as a person, like a relationship, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like a good friendship, right? Um, and yeah, so my agent and I, first he just kind of get to know me. He's seen my clips. He was like,
Hmm.
okay, I can see where you can go from here. Like he had belief in my talents. So he pushed me to other clubs, and he was like, he just threw their name. He pretty much threw my name out to them.
Okay.
They looked into me, and um, that's kind of how like I got some traction from other clubs.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just pretty much like an agent says to the pro club, I have this player. This is his clips. This is his video. This is who he is. His profile. What do you think? And then the team looks into him, and then they come back and forth. That's kind of how it works.
Got you. I got you. I got you. So in your case, were you sent out to kind of, I guess, practice with a few clubs?
Yeah, I was sent out to practice with a couple clubs. Well, honestly, like yeah, two, but I was only able to make one, so I went one.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, it was really good, man. It was good to know that I know I can play at that level. Like once I was training with pro guys, and
Yeah.
I was doing well. Um, so it brought me a sort of confidence after those trips where it was to be like, okay, I know I know I can do this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It wasn't any more doubt like I don't know about this level. I was able to experience it in like a couple of days, training with a team.
Right, right.
So yeah, so that was a blessing. That was a blessing, honestly.
Yeah. So it gave you that confidence saying like I could do this
For
for
sure.
real.
For sure. For sure.
Okay. So so once you linked the agent, got the relationship and everything, trained a couple of times, what was next pro wise?
Yeah, so obviously like next usually it's like the combine
Hmm.
and then draft and all that. So I I actually didn't go to the combine. Um and then pretty much like a week later there's a draft and I was on like a mock. I didn't know if I was supposed to get in or not, you know.
Hmm.
So I was like just like on like the list of people that might get in or they might
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
right? So I was like, okay, we'll see what happens, right?
Hmm.
I ended up not getting drafted. I was like, okay, what do I do now?
Right.
I was like, what do I do now, right? My agent was just reassured me. He was just like, man, you're a good player. Um, you're gonna get opportunities, just be
Yeah.
patient, right? So that's what I was doing is being patient. And just kind of, just working out training. A lot of players, let's say they were working to get drafted or wanted to get drafted. They probably gave up. They probably just like lost some motivation. I just kept on training,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just kind of just trusting in God, and I was able to get contract opportunities
Hmm.
from that, so for any kids that are in college, like you can still make it pro and get a good pro team opportunity, and you don't have to get drafted.
Yep.
It's nice to get drafted though. It's nice to get drafted. Like it
Right.
looks cool. It looks cool and all that, and um, but at the end of the day, there's people that have gotten drafted and they haven't got contracts.
Hmm.
So it's just like pretty much the draft is just like an invitation to train with a pro team
Right.
for
Right.
like
Right.
a couple weeks or a preseason or something like that. So
Right.
it's really what you do when you get there.
Yeah.
It's up to you when you do when you get there, So,
Yeah.
I was blessed with opportunities, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's different routes of making it. I mean, shoot, you could be second pick overall, third pick overall, and then be out the league in 2 seasons just like that. So
For
yeah,
sure.
there is a lot of different opportunities to get into the league and get a professional contract and everything like that. So
Hmm.
you had a different route and you made it happen because you had
Hmm.
a strong mentality, faith in God, and just kept working. And look what happened.
Hmm. Yeah.
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 So how was the first season as a pro?
it was cool. It was
Yeah.
cool. Like, did really well in the beginning. Like literally first week I was training, I was doing really well. Everyone was really
Hmm.
impressed with me. Got opportunities with the first team to train because I was with the second team when I signed. So I had opportunity to train with the first team instantly, and it was really fun. I was doing well with both teams when I was training with the first team, and then playing games and training with the second team. I was just like enjoying the experience. I was just enjoying the experience. Throughout the season, I got like a lot of assists. I was very just influential in the attack.
Hmm.
Just playing my game. I was
Yeah.
having fun. Um, and Yeah, like, eventually that came to an end. I ended up having an injury, a season-ending injury.
Hmm.
It was ACL and, pretty much that kind of halted things in terms of, contract stuff, enjoyment of the game,
Yeah.
all those things. So I kind of had to just humble myself and just try to figure out the next step, right? But
Yeah.
in the beginning, like flying. It was amazing. Winning, I was playing games, winning games. Team was doing well for the most part. I was very involved.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it was doing really good, but then the injury came.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So how did you shake back from the injury? I mean, ACL is pretty serious.
yeah, man. Yeah, it was hard, man. It was hard.
Yeah.
I was rehabbing in Texas for a while. Then I was able to go home for like Christmas and all those things.
Hmm.
Um, But yeah, that was hard, man. It's just like just the physical aspect of it is hard, like dealing with pain
Yeah.
and aches and stuff, but also the mental aspect is probably the hardest in the sense of like you have to trust your body again.
Right.
You have to trust your body. You have to trust that you're still as good as you were
Hmm.
before you even like start playing. Um, and that was a difficult side of me.
Yeah.
Also, it's just like that was a difficult part of it, but also it was just like I think just just not like just not losing motivation. Like with an ACL injury, you're out for at least 9 months.
Hmm.
If they're being safe with you, right? You could
Right.
probably push the ACL for like 7, 8 months, but if they're being safe with you, it's at least 9 months.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so I was out for like 9 to 10 months, and
Man.
it was pretty much like I had to still be motivated in that 10 month span while I'm watching colleagues, teammates, whatever, play and enjoy their soccer, right?
Yeah.
So it was just that was the hard part. But yeah, I got through it. I came back this season and I came back this season and I was able to kind of pick up where I left off and helping the team.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it was a blessing. I felt like through that experience, I had to turn to someone, so I turned to God. So I grew closer relationship with God through that, um, and that was. I feel like I'm not mad that it happened. I'm not like oh like dang that happened. It's
Right.
just part
Right.
of life. So
Right.
I definitely learned from it, and I feel like I'm better for it, honestly. Yeah, like
Yeah. I
if I
was.
look back at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hindsight always 2020. But
yeah,
I was gonna
exactly.
ask, yeah, who during a tough time like that, like who were you kind of relying on to help you keep your faith and keep the motivation high? Was it family or a friend?
Uh, it was like maybe it was maybe a friend.
Hmm.
Um, I had a friend at where I lived in Texas, and he would just talk to me, just kind of keep on going strong.
Yeah.
Obviously I had support from my family, but
Of
my
course.
family's in the East Coast and I was in Texas.
Hmm.
So it was more like I knew like I had to lean on something, something consistent, right? So
Hmm.
I found that in God, like my mom, I can call her for an hour, maybe a day, but she
Right.
has to go do her own thing,
Right.
work and all those things, right? Same with my dad and my brothers and all that.
Right.
So
Right.
it was kind of just more, it was more mainly just more intrinsic.
Okay.
But yeah, I just kind of realized that. yes, the people like my family members and friends in the world, like yeah, they'll be there for you, but they're not there for you all the time. They have their own lives they have to live. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right. All right, so after rehabbing and getting, your body and your knee fully healthy, what was it like going back onto the pitch for the first time in like a real game?
Yeah, no, it was kind of the speed. It was like the speed of the game was much faster. So I
Mm.
had to play very simplistic, like super simplistic.
Touch
Like
go.
yeah, just touch go.
Yeah.
Touch go. Don't do too much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But according to my coaches and the club, they really liked how I played my first game back. They were
Okay.
like, "Oh, he still has it." You know what I mean? That's kind of how they were about it.
That must have
Because
made you
I
feel good.
yeah, no, it definitely made me feel good. It
Hmm.
kind of gave me confidence.
Yeah, yeah.
Also with the injury like that, your confidence kind of goes a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, so definitely throughout the season, it was kind of like moments. Okay, I got to make sure my body is taken care of.
Hmm.
I need to make sure my confidence is continue to rise, but then also I need to earn my spot back, and I
Right.
need to and I just need to just try to reach my goals as a player and help the team as well win.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was like a lot of things to think about when I'm playing. Like once one like make sure I'm healthy and I'm safe, right?
Right. Of
Don't
course.
overdo it. I just got back, right? All those things. But then also compete and try to win a spot and help the team. And
Yeah. Did
so
you
yeah,
did you have faith in your knee right away, or did you have some hesitant?
I was hesitant.
Yeah,
I was for
yeah,
sure hesitant. Man. Like especially like as a left back, run. I'm fast. Shifty. Also defending. Like a lot of cutting and moving.
yeah,
That's a lot of knee stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, no, it was a little hesitancy. But eventually when I started training and like people started knocking me around a little bit, so I stopped thinking about my knee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's nice. That's nice. So you got back and talk to us about that season. It looks like you were a bit successful as a team. Got a
yeah,
little
yeah.
hardware.
Yeah, no, what we won the Eastern Conf no, not the Eastern, the Western Conference champions and the champion of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Um that was yeah, man. The team
That's a big
we
deal,
went
man. You didn't gotta downplay that.
yeah, man. Yeah, it was it was good, man. Like, kind of for my situation, like most of the season, I was just like watching.
Yeah.
But then I kind of came in at the end and I was playing through playoffs and I was starting. I was able to help the team win. Um, so that was nice. It was nice to, just help the team. I was also doing really well throughout playoffs. So that was good. But yeah, man, my first, what, two trophies as a pro. So second year.
That's
So
crazy.
it's a blessing.
Two
And
in one
it's a,
season?
yeah, man, it's a funny story because like, got injured. Did really well. Was doing really well. Got injured. Came back. Fighting to get in the spot on the
Hmm.
team. Like second half of the year, I finally got a spot. Just still kind of make sure my body was taken care of, and then playoff time, a little bit before playoff time to the end of playoffs was like locking, push through it,
Yeah.
just help the team win, and do what I got to do on the field for my as an individual as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, man, it was a blessing, man. It was amazing. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
A lot
No,
of
that's
celebration
amazing.
after.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, so what's the celebration like after winning all of that, bro? Two
Yeah,
two
man.
chips in one season? I'm
Yeah,
on my
man. Yeah.
ass.
Yeah, man. It was a lot, man. We were just, we were just all vibing out, man. We
Yeah.
partied. We just did a lot of things as a team,
Yeah, yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Big celebration for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, big celebration. Yeah, big celebration.
So
Yeah.
what's some of your future aspirations in the game? You're young, you got a lot of time left.
Yeah. It's just to continue just move up,
Hmm.
win trophies, obviously. I want wherever I go, whatever team, whoever I meet, to just think of me as okay, he's a winner.
Hmm.
Yeah, so just like move up and just continue to just perfect my craft and then just enjoy the game and make connections and create relationships through the game.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing about soccer is like you make a lot of good connections, you meet a lot of nice people. Um, and that's kind of what I look to do in the next couple of years. through
Nah,
soccer.
that's dope,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, hopefully, you got a lot of years left in you and a lot of success coming your way for sure.
Yeah, man.
So let's go ahead and get to know
Yeah.
Ty, man. A couple of
Yeah.
questions. I do a little Instagram stuff. So we'll do a couple of ones based off that and then a couple of ones just back and forth. So
Cool.
off
Cool.
Instagram, first question was, who was the toughest opponent you had to face player wise?
That's hard.
And we
Like
can
just
go
all my
back to
life,
like,
or
yeah, whole life, whole life.
oh, that's hard, man. That's hard. Ah, player wise, there was this guy, NC State. He was a 10. He played for Orlando for a little bit.
Hmm.
I think his name was like Loera, David Loera or something. He was a class player.
He was giving you
This
some
guy,
problems?
he was giving the whole team problems. Not only me, he was giving the whole team problems. Like that guy was good. That guy was good. So yeah, probably, him, he wasn't like playing like necessarily like right wing, but
Hmm.
like he was a trouble. He was trouble.
Yeah, he was just
He was
giving
trouble.
y'all fits, huh, the whole game.
Yeah. And it's like honestly, his team wasn't even that good, but it's just like he did everything for them. Like he was so much of a threat that his team was doing good because it was just him.
Oh, wow, he was influential like that.
Yeah, he was like that. He was like that.
Wow.
He was really good.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
second, what's a piece of advice you could give to someone that's around middle school age, high school age, trying to, achieve their dreams of playing collegiately?
To really focus on the important aspects of the game. Uh, if you break it down, it's like, it's like physical.
Hmm.
If you're not like the most athletic person, work on your athleticism, work on your strength, because the game is getting more athletic,
Yeah, it is.
pretty much in all leagues. You want to be in the top league, like or American League or whatever, like they're getting more athletic.
Yeah.
So work on your physical. I'm not saying you have to be the fastest guy in the world, the strongest guy in the world, quickest, but work on that.
Hmm.
Develop that through middle school. But also technical, focusing on left foot, right foot, being able to use your head. Um, just just getting the technical side down, and then also looking to watch the game, watch the games of the top players in your position in the world, and just trying to learn from them, but not like watching highlights, like watching full games, um, so you can understand why they do things, and just also look. And then when you look in the tactical perspective, look at it from like an individual perspective, but also look at it from a team
Yeah.
um,
Whole
away.
field kind of view.
Yeah.
Mm.
So those three things are very important if you want to build yourself up to become a pro.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'll say that.
Okay. Okay. And the last one's a bit of a mad one, so it's up to you. Celebrity crush. How about this? How about this middle school tie celebrity crush?
I'll probably say like if I was to guess, man, it probably would have been like Beyonce or something, man. I'll go Beyonce. I'll go Beyonce. That's a safe answer. That's a good answer,
That's a
man.
safe answer. You right?
Yeah, that's a safe answer. I'll go Beyonce.
All
Yeah.
right. So a couple of more
Mm,
get to knows
yeah.
before a match, pre-game meal.
Mm. Things that I do for pregame meal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or like in like before the match and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
before a match, what you eating to get to the game?
Uh, Usually rice, chicken,
Okay, simple.
broccoli. Yeah, pasta sometimes,
Okay.
just like easy things to digest. And I'm not gonna eat like I'm not gonna have like a milkshake or something, all
Of
that
course.
stuff, fast food. So yeah, I eat healthy before the games for sure.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
yeah.
So
And then
who you listening to? Oh, my
who am
bad.
I
Go ahead.
listening to? No, you good. Who am I listening to?
To get you in that mode, man.
Man, like, there was a song that I don't listen to it that much anymore, but I'm not even good at remembering songs, but I liked a little bit like EDM a little bit,
Okay.
but I also like rap and I also like drill. Like the
Oh,
drill.
wow.
So it honestly like for every game day it could change. It's just like how I feel.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Um
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so
So
give me an artist in each.
at least the iconic one I remember was Rams. I remember
Okay.
Rams, man. You know the song? You know,
It-
barking. Yeah, I know. I used to love that. I used to rock that. That was like college time. I was rocking that.
yeah.
Um, and then another one like a boogie, a boogie. I was listening
Okay.
to a boogie a little bit.
Okay.
And then I don't know. I can't. I don't know the third one. I'm trying to think, but I don't. I can't think of the third one. But yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So A Boogie really gets you in that mood. Normally people be over here saying
Like
baby and everything.
like beast mode. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's
Okay,
like,
so harder boogie.
you know that song. You know that song,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like stuff like that. Stuff like that.
All right,
Yeah,
all right. So how
yeah.
about this last one? Do you put that shit on before the game?
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
it depends.
All
Like,
right.
yeah, nah, I put it on sometimes, but like it really depends how I feel.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It really
Okay.
depends how it really honestly it really depends on my week. If I had a good week, like everything like went well really like in the week, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna put more energy into my fit. But
Okay.
if it was just like a chill week, like just low energy week, then I'm gonna I'm gonna put on a good fit, but it's not gonna be like everyone's gonna be like, yo, like, you know. So and then also like how important the game is sometimes, like if it was like a derby or like, I'll probably put on a better fit, things
Okay.
like that.
Okay. So,
But I never put on bad fits. I don't put on bad fits.
oh, no bad fit.
No, I don't put on bad fits. It could be average fit, but it won't be a bad fit.
Okay. All right. So then how
It
about
won't
this
be a
then?
bad fit.
Big match coming up. Great week too. High energy week. What is the fit looking like though?
Like this, I can go like really like business type casual, like looking cool like that.
Okay.
I can go like streetwear. It just really depend, I
Okay.
can like
Versatile.
I was thinking about for the final, man, like, like pulling up in a suit, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Um, so yeah, it just depends, man. It depends.
Okay.
But I like streetwear stuff more, to be
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But you
I'll
could
say that.
you saying you could do it all though.
Yeah, and I could try I could rock different fits for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Nah, hey, listen, Ty, thank you for joining, man. Thank you for, putting in energy and giving us your time, sharing stories and all that. We all wish you a real healthy and successful career moving forward and all the best.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Camille. Thank you for the time. I definitely enjoyed, talking about my career with you, and also, I hope some of my answers, helps like young players out there, and
Yeah,
motivate some
100%.
for sure.